What's up, Pirates? Ray Talks here with Awaken TCG, and today we have round 4. That's round 4 of my undefeated core TCG run as Purple Doffy. Green Purple Doflamingo has been treating me honestly like crap. My first 3 events this month, I went X2 drop. I failed to submit my deck list. Well, my first X2 drop was Whitebeard, but then I failed to submit my deck list. Then the week before the core TCG regional, I went X2 drop. I was the first game I lost because my opponent, which was a Zoro, he top lifed the last life he had. It was a guard point to save his life. It happens. It happens. It's One Piece. It happens. I win round 2. Round 3, I make the biggest misplay of my life. I'm going to cut to a clip of it right now.
Okay. Gonna swing 5 at lead.
I'll block that.
Okay. I'll do 8 plus 2. 10 to lead.
We'll go 9, 10. You got it. Oh, I threw.
Yes.
I threw, bro. What am I doing? All right, GG's, man. Good game.
GG's, man. Good game.
Bro, I fucking threw, dude. What am I doing? You saw that misplay? I can't fathom it either. I literally made a crazy misplay like that. On top of that, I just got really frustrated. I had practiced, but I'm streaming. I'm distracted. It happens to the best of us. That's why I was like, I don't know how I won. Like, this was me last week, you know? But yeah, I had to lock in, so I did not stream for this tournament. Anyways, let's go ahead and get right into this match. As you guys know, I went undefeated. You guys are not going to hear the end of that until I win my next one, if I ever do. I'm going to grind and I'm going to try to compete at the highest level possible now that I'm, kind of showing myself that I can do it. But for the most part, let's go ahead and get right into the match. Yeah, crazy. I don't know how I literally went from making that misplay, raging off stream. I turned off stream, dropped, and then I won regional. Anyways, let's go ahead and get right into the match. My throat is already getting dry. I've been recording all day. Pause. So turn 1, the Ezo went first. He goes buggy and finds a Rad Beam. That Rad Beam is a very good card. Good thing it's limited to only 1. And now it is my first turn. What am I going to find here? Let's fast forward. I fast forward a little too much. We grabbed a Nami. Perfect. Beautiful. My opponent's turn 2. Oh, he's thinking. So he goes Brook for 2 Dawn. Brook for 2 Dawn into attached to Zoro. He's swinging 7 at life. That's fine for me. More often than not, I'm taking the first life anyway. And so for him just to play a body, get an extra 2 Dawn, it doesn't make a difference, right? Whether he played that or Dadan. I guess I would rather him play a 2K out of his hand than a Dadan where he gets to search and add a card to his hand. So maybe that was his best option. I don't know. Anyways, I take the first life, but I never want to take 2 in the same turn so early on. So I pitch a 1K because as you saw, I grabbed the Nami, so I'm going to be able to swing this 5. Yep, at the buggy. Get him out of here. And then I play Nami. Tap 1 for her ability. And we grab a Shiki. Okay. Nice little Shiki. Shiki's a very good card in the Whitebeard matchup, but we are versing a Zoro here. Let's go ahead and lock in. So, what am I doing? I guess I'm just reading. Yeah, I was just reading something on the card. I was cold in the morning, so I had a sweatshirt hoodie thing on. I take it off later on though, because I started to get high. It was later on in the day, temperature started rising. I'm like, okay, hold on, it's getting kind of hot. Let me take this off so I can think. so I can think better. Okay, so now it's my opponent's turn 3. He's at 5 down, I believe. Yes, because he went first. He attaches 1 onto Zoro, then he goes 1 on the Brook and swings 5. See, I don't agree with this early pressure. Yeah, like it's nice, but he's swinging 5s and like I'm searching with the Nami, so these 5s that I'm blocking out with the card I just grabbed, right? So it's like basically free. Obviously, the second swing, I do give a 2K out of my hand, but if you really think about it, it's benefiting me because I'm slowing down his tempo. I'm gonna be able to kill this Brook next turn. At the same time, I'm gonna be able to establish another body. And look at his board. His board by the end of my turn is gonna be 1 Dodon, while I'm gonna have a Nami. I'm gonna have another body, and it's gonna be looking good for me. Let's see what he grabs. So maybe he could use all of his Don to maybe establish more bodies on board before swinging. That way it feels good because I have a limited amount. So he grabs a Makino. I have a limited amount of swings on my end. So if you go 5 wide, 2 turns in, 3 turns in, and then you start swinging, I can clear 1, 2, maybe 3. But then at that point, you already have something else you want to play from your hand. So it's like you need to open up space on your board, and they're clearing it. Those are pseudo blockers, right? It searched your card, you swung with it, and now your opponent's swinging into a small weenie unit that you were going to want to get rid of anyway. So there's kind of this dynamic of like knowing when to swing at weenie units and when to pressure life, because it can, the line can be blurred sometimes, and you could actually be misplaying if you're swinging at a weenie unit when you're supposed to be, setting up lethal. Anyways, so my turn 3, I'm at 6 Dawn. I go swing 5K at the Brook with Nami, and I search, and I go ahead and grab I think it was a Buena Festa. Should I go back real quick? It was a Buena Festa. And now I have 5 down. So I'm going to go ahead and swing 6 to his Zoro, and he's going to take. So it's his first life. He probably doesn't have an issue taking that at 6. Boom. I grab another Nami. So obviously I've gotten 3 searches. I played the first Nami, searched. Played the second Nami, just searched, and then I swung with one of the Namis. That's 3 searches, and I've hit all 3 times. And so these 2 Namis have generated me 3 cards in hand, which is amazing. Obviously, he has the Gordon on board. My Namis are susceptible to Fire Fist, which is probably what the Zoro's going to try to look to doing. See what he actually does. Okay, so 1 on lead. Still thinking. Okay, 1 on lead, attached 1 on the Dodon, and he swung at my Nami. So now my Nami cannot be KO'd by his board, and for me it's kind of difficult to make the decision on whether or not to block out there, because I'm like, okay, if I know he has Fire Fist. In this moment, I did not know, so that's why I protected it. I took the gamble, because if they don't have Fire Fist and you use something like that, or a spider web, and you restand the Nami where they can't attack it, now you have a crazy board, and you want to take a life anyway. I'm at 3 life. I want to go down to at least 2. Give me another card in hand. So there's a fine line of whether or not to protect there, because you can just give up the Nami, and then they don't really want to like Fire Fist of Buena Festa and 1 Nami, but then that gives them the freedom to change up their turn, which sometimes you don't want. Sometimes you do want to just make them give you 2 events, 3 Dawn for your 2 Namis right there as bait, right? Especially if you have Luffy's in hand where you're going to replace board like this. Sometimes you kind of want to do it. Okay, so here I pulled a Hell's Judgment, a Judgment of Hell trigger. I may probably should have kept that for defense later on, but in the moment it felt good. I think my opponent's at 4, 5, 6. He was at 7 Dawn, so I'm like, okay, he's gonna go to 9. I was like, okay, I could take away 1, and he's gonna go to 8 next turn, and then he's gonna go to 10. So I'm like, okay, I'm giving him -1 Dawn for him to play with for the next turn, which could potentially be a 1K counter, or something to to save my hand a little bit, right? Because I don't have no more Namis. So he ended up pitching his Radical Beam for Fire Fist. That's how crucial he thought he needed to get rid of my Namis. So I Buena Festa into a Chopper. Not what I want to see, but I have a Sugar. I have a sugar to rest the Gordon, and I'm going to get that thing out of the way right now because I know when I do play Luffy, I need him to stay alive. He cannot get... Because when you go Luffy, Uta, and Zoro's go Gordon on Luffy, Fire Fist, there goes your combo. They wasted 4 Dawn, 1 for the Gordon, 3 for the Fire Fist, and 2 cards, right? You gave up 2 cards, but you paid 7 Dawn. You know, oh, well, technically they pay 3 cards, right? But you paid 7 Dawn. They only got to pay 4 Dawn, and same outcome. So sometimes that kind of hurts. But anyways, for the last 5 Dawn that I had, I went and played a Tesoro. This Tesoro is for surely gonna do me some justice. As you can see, my opponent has 2 options. One, he has to find a way to kill this Tesoro this turn before I draw, or 2, let me draw and you're gonna pay the price. At 10 Dawn, when you Tesoro, you're going back to 10 Dawn anyway. So it's like this infinite cycle, right? So my opponent played Nami, and then I go ahead and I rest the Dadan, so he has to swing his Otama at my sugar. And then that way I can block out. Because he wants to kill the sugar. So I know he's going to have to, if I block out the 0k swing, or technically he could put 1 on to Zoro and swing 1k. And then I can still give him a 2k, right? What does you know? Okay, he's thinking. Okay, so he attached 1 to Zoro leader, and he is swinging 1k at the sugar. Boom, I 2k. Want to know why? Let me tell you why. When I blocked out that sugar, I knew he needed it. He needed it gone because he's running Nami package, so I don't think he runs Marcos. He needed that sugar gone. So whatever Don was on his Zoro, he was swinging at that sugar. On the other hand, if I keep that 2k in hand and I let the sugar die with the 0 or with a 1k power from the Otama, he can attach 1 more Dawn onto his Zoro and swing 7 at me. My 2k cannot block that. And I want to stay at 2 life. And so by me blocking out that first 1k attack on my 0 power sugar means he has to commit his Zoro attack onto my sugar regardless of the amount of Dawn on it. It's going to my sugar and it's going to act like a blocker, right? So that is why I did that. I did not want to go to 1 life here. Now my opponent is thinking. He goes 3. He goes 3 for a rush Zoro. Wow. I did not expect that. I think I'm going to have to go to 1 life here anyway. Because he is swinging 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, so I remember thinking vividly like, wow. Like I should have saw this coming. Like I didn't want to go to 1 life. Here I am at 1 life. So now it is my turn. My Buena Festa swings 0 at the Otama, which is beautiful. And boom, as you can see, I have the 10 drop Doflamingo. So I Doflamingo and rest my 10 Dawn, and then I go Buena Festa. I go Gil Tesoro, Dawn -2, draw 2. So this is my first draw 2. And now my opponent has to deal with 3 rested units. He's going to have 1 Nami on board, which, you know, for me is fine. But the reason why I swung with my Tesoro first is because if I swung with lead first and he takes and he pops a, what triggers it? A jet pistol trigger, I don't draw 2. And I need to draw 2. What does my opponent do? My opponent blocks out for 2k. And then I swing 5 and he takes, which is fine. So, no, nothing that much to say there. He took the 5k swing, no trigger. So he, rests 1 Dawn for a buggy. This buggy is going to find him a jet pistol. I think it's a little too late. He gets the jet pistol, but he can kill the Tesoro, but it's late. I already drew 2 cards. I think the Tesoro swung twice. Sorry, no, I think I might have swung once. But I already have a 10 cost Doflamingo established on board. And now he has 5 Dawn to play with because he buggied, spent 4 to kill the Tesoro. And that 5 Dawn is not going to do much. He can swing with Nami potentially, swing a 7k with Nami. But he looks like he's going to opt to play a Dadan. You know, which is smart. At this point, you got to just... And honestly, if he has another weenie body, he should kill the other Dadan, play another weenie body. Keep it standing. I think you need bodies to swing at me before you just lose. Let's see what he grabs. So he grabs a Nami. Is he going to play the Nami? He does not play the Nami and he swings 5 at me. Boom, I give him a 1K. I'm not sure what he was expecting. I still have a good amount of cards in hand. So obviously I'm going to block that out regardless, even if I have the 2K. Obviously he's on Nami package. I want to be aware of the Luffy. He can Luffy at any point. So even if I do block her up, if I had a blocker, the Luffy could just go through it. So I don't want to hit 0 life. Let's see what my turn here looks like. So it looks like I'm going to attach 3 to my leader. And I'm swinging 8. So I swing 8 at lead. So at this point, I'm like, okay, I need to set up lethal. I win next turn. I use 3 to swing at his lead. He takes. Now I swing 10 at his lead. He's obviously going to take. He is not going to give me 3 2Ks to block that out. And then I have 7 Don, so obviously the Luffy's coming. Luffy, Uta. And at this point, I'm thinking, okay, if he has a Fire Fist, a Gordon Fire Fist here, it could get sketchy. But if not, I'm going to block out of whatever swings he has, keep all of my units alive, and then he can physically not win next turn. Even if he decides to block her up, I don't think Zoro lists like this run blockers. But even if he did, I probably have the answer, which is Sugar. Let's see what my opponent does. So he attaches 1 to Zoro, which, you know, is common. Yeah, I'm gonna Uta every time. I'm gonna get the value. I'm probably resting the buggy. Yeah, I don't want no Mogs on them, no Magras, no Makinos, nothing. And then I pitch a 2K to keep the Uta alive because the Zoro swung 6K at the Uta because I blocked it. Let's see what he does. He's counting. So he swings 5. I think at this point, he sees that I have 4 cards, so he kind of wants to get 1 card out of me, 1 card out of me. But I think that's the wrong idea. I think he needs to just push for lethal with the rest of his Don, right? Obviously, he has 1 Nami to be able to buff. But it's only a 3K. But if he has like double Makino, I give him a 1K. At this point, if he's going to swing 5s, I'm going to just block out. He really needs to be swinging 7s. He needs to be going crazy to try to go for lethal here. But it's not looking likely. And obviously, I have a 10 cost Doffy. I still have 3 cards in hand. Oh, no, 2 cards in hand. 2 or 3 cards in hand. And so one of the swings I'm blocking with the Luffy, right? So my opponent's thinking. He's thinking real hard. These are crucial turns. These are very crucial turns. You know, you kind of have to sit there and think, okay, so I'm at 3 cards, as you guys can see right there. I'm at 3 cards. You know, these turns, you kind of really got to sit and think. And, you know, that's why you have so much time, right? You know, the first 5 turns are like this. Especially if both those players know how to play. First couple turns, and then it's like, okay, well, we're slowly getting to the end. Hold on, give me a sec. Put yourself in your opponent's shoes. What do you think they're gonna do? What have they been doing? What is the game state looking like? You know, go from there. What's your best option? And so my opponent is still thinking, but he has to. You know, I don't blame him here, unless if you play Rebecca and you're sitting there for 3 minutes per action. I don't want to talk to you. Rebecca players are the thinkiest tanker decks, but that's how the deck is played, I guess. They just have a lot of options. I'm not sure. I don't play the deck, but I know they be thinking Megamind style. So he attaches 1 onto the Dadan, and he swings 5 at my leader. What do? I think I should punt Gibson here. If I have a punt Gibson, I should punt Gibson. I think I'm doing some math in my head. Whenever I go like that whenever I'm like, you know, going like this, I'm doing mental math with hits on the desk. Like 1, 2 times, you know? I think here what I want to do is for surely punt Gibson if I have it, right? So I'm looking at his, let me count. 1, 2, 3. So I'm looking at the amount of Dawn he has up, and I'm like, wait, he has perfect Luffy Dawn. So at any point, if I take life, he's probably gonna try to boom Luffy attach to Dawn. I'm swinging 9K at your life, unblockable GGs, right? And especially since I just used that, that means that he only has one swing left on his Zoro. Because he could play the Luffy, but then I just blocked the Zoro hit. The Luffy doesn't hit for anything. I mean, he can kill something on my board. So he goes Nami because he's going to try to search for potentially an event. I already know he's gotten rid of the Rad Beam, so I know he's definitely not getting that. Let's see what he grabs. So he grabs a Bad Manners, which is Trash 1 plus 3K, which is not a bad card at all. But he still has a lot of Dawn. And his Nami's supposed to be rested right now, by the way. Oh, no, he trashed it. He trashed it and he played another one. What am I saying? So that Nami cannot swing. But he only has one Zoro swing left. Let's see what he does. So he goes 7. At this point, I think if I have a 1K, I block out with the Luffy and I give him a 1K. Oh, he swung at the Uta. I'm tripping. Okay, he swung at the Uta. That's fine. We take that. That's beautiful. There's no reason to keep that. There's no reason to keep that Uta. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. Let's see what my opponent does. This is going long. I'm 20 minutes in. Let me drink some water. So he did have the Luffy. I knew it. I'm going to be honest. I forgot what he actually had in his hand, but he has a Luffy and he played it regardless. I mean, leaving Zero Dawn up just basically is shaking my hand saying, hey, GG's, this game's over with. Yeah, he's swinging at life. I'm just going to take that. That's his last swing. I'm like, okay, GG's. You might have a lot of cards in hand, but you do not have enough to get through these swings. Like I have 10 Dawn, a 10 drop, a 10K, a 7K, and my leader to swing, right? So first things first, I think I'm gonna go 9K. Go 9K. I think that's what I would do. It was definitely there. Yeah, look. That's the thing, guys. In order to win a tournament like this, you have to be able to see the lines that when you're watching over games and you're like, wow, you know, because it's a lot easier when you're watching and you're not playing. You're like, yo, I see this line. I see what their opponent's doing. I see what this person's doing. I can when you see those lines that you would see from a spectator standpoint and you play those in tournament, that's when you get the best chance to win, because that means you're playing your best lines, you're not making mistakes, and you're playing well. I think overall, I thought I made one misplay this whole tournament, and I'll get into it when the round comes, but after I watched the footage, I'm like, wait, wow, that was not even a misplay. And so my opponent gives me 5K here to block out the 9K swing. He has 3 cards in hand. 3 cards in hand, which means if I do the math correctly, that's 2, 4, 6 plus 5, which is 11K. 11K means I can attach what? I have 8 Dawn. So that means I can go 5 Dawn and 1. So I'm going to swing 11. 1, 2. Oh, no, I have 7 Dawn. So I'm going 11, 12. He has 3 cards in hand. He can go only 11 if they were all 2Ks. So he can't block. If they were all 2Ks, he still has to take it. And then on top of that, when I swing 12, he has to make sure all 3 of those are 2Ks and then have an extra 1K on top of that. Let me pause it. I swung 11. He blocked 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So he trashes them. He thinks he blocked the attack. I'm telling him, hold on. I swung 11. He takes them back. He takes them back, puts them back like if they're in his hand, and then he goes to take life. And then I'm telling him right here, I'm like, no. I'm like, I swung 11. You gave me 6K worth of counter to 11. The hit goes through. Take the life. Put those Otamas in trash. This is round 4. At this point, I'm feeling well. I'm not going to let that slide, you know? And then he sees it's a buggy. He's like, calm down. He's like, you won anyway. I needed to grab a 2K out of life. It was a brick anyway. So he almost had it. So me doing some math right there to make sure and say, okay, he has 3 cards in hand. That's 6,000 total worth of counter he could have. plus his 5K, which is 11, I can swing 11K and then 12K. So he could have won if he had a 2K in life. He would have beat me, but he did make a mistake there. He miscounted, thinking he blocked it, and I'm like, nope, I'm not gonna let that slide just in case. Just in case. He, while keeping his hand right there, looked at it. I made sure to let him know. I'm like, nah. He's like, oh, you won anyway. You won anyway. Because imagine this situation. Sorry, I know this is a real long video, and I appreciate you guys for watching until the end. But imagine there's a situation where he keeps those 3 cards in hand, peeks at life, and sees that it's a 2K. And then I'm like, I'm swinging 12. And then he goes 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I block out. He was only like, oh, you won anyway. You won anyway. But, you know, there's a world where technically he could have peeked at it, saw it was a 2K, kept those cards in hand, and then try to fight it. Anyways, GG's to my opponent. I don't want to make you seem like you're a bad guy. But, you know, just people will try to do anything to. You saw how fast he pulled those cards back. Anyways, this was a great match. It definitely went down to the wire. I appreciate you guys for watching. Round 5 will be out tomorrow. This video is coming out November 1st. November 1st. This is Wednesday, guys. 25-minute video. I apologize for making you guys watch such a long video, but we were kind of both taking back and forth. I try to commentate the best as I could. Anyways, make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, comment down below. Oh, giveaway video coming out tomorrow as well. You guys are gonna get 2 videos on Thursday, and it's gonna be the giveaway videos, and we're gonna have a live stream on Saturday. We're gonna Saturday morning, we're gonna, you know, get all the people that comment on the video that is gonna be released on Thursday. Everybody's gonna comment. We're gonna get all those people, boom, put them in a list, and then we're gonna have a stream on Saturday. The time will be posted with that video on Thursday. The time, it's gonna be on Saturday. The time, not sure yet, but we're just gonna stream and roll the people. We're gonna do a big giveaway. All the details for it will be out Thursday. I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much for supporting me. The daily content is not gonna stop. You hear me? It's not gonna stop. I have a personal goal of doing 365 days. We started July 27th of this year. I have a personal goal of doing 365 days of video every single day to see where we can take this channel. Anyways, guys, I'm tired. You guys are probably tired. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.